Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. I'm Snapper Lancaster, and once again, I want to tell you, as we get started, how you can reach us, see our show. We're on the website, castvshow.com, and also you can like us on Facebook. Folks, there's an awful lot happening in the world of sports for high schools right now. As a matter of fact, we've had cross-country teams crowned champions in Class 7A. The Mountain Brook girls won another title. In Class 6A, the Homewood boys won the cross country, and the John Carroll Cavalier young ladies won the cross country. So we've got some titles that's coming back here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area. And now we're right in the middle of the playoffs with high school football. And of course, in Class 7A, the Hoover Bucks, they lost their first two, but they've won 9 in a row and still continue to be the class of 7A in the state of Alabama. Oak Mountain having the best season they've ever had. They're 10-1. In Class 6A, you got Clay Chalkville 11-0. You got McAdory 11-0. You also have the Homewood Patriots on a 9-game winning streak, so they're hot. And in Class 5A, you've got Mortimer Jordan at 10-1. You got Ramsey at 10-1, Parker 10-1, and you've also got Pleasant Grove at 9-2 playing some outstanding football. And as always, in Class 4A, the Leeds Green Wave, Keith Etch's team doing another fantastic job. They're 10-1 thus far in the season. So the playoffs in football just started going into the second rounds. A lot of action from teams here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area, and maybe before so with some championships to be decided that'll be brought right back here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our first guest of the evening. Don't you go away.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you want to personalize that special vehicle you drive, whether it be a car, SUV, or that truck that you love so much, then you need to visit the Drive Shop. They're located between downtown Trussville and Deerfoot Parkway on Highway 11, where their fine service staff of professionals are waiting to serve you. The services include auto systems, security and remote start systems, tires and wheels, and window tinting, just to name a few. So come by and visit them today, or find them online at thedriveshop.com, or visit us on the Facebook. That's the Drive Shop in Trussville, 533-8785. Also, if you mention Snapper's name, you'll receive a 10% discount.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. And as we promised in this segment, we're visiting with a coach who has his team in the playoffs. As a matter of fact, he's a second-year coach here in the Birmingham area. We're going to get him to tell a little bit about his background for people that may not have known about it. But we're talking about Matt Plunkett, who, of course, is the head coach at Gardendale. And Coach, like I said just a moment ago when I saw you, what a difference a year makes.
Well, the big thing is our kids have worked really hard. You know, we got a chance to know each other and get to know our team in the weight room, and that's where our team's built. You know, between January and August, and we just put a lot of work in, to be honest with you. And our kids have earned the right to be here, and which tells me we'll play well on Friday night.
Well, before we get further into the interview, tell the people that, like I said, might be seeing you for the first time a little bit about your background, how you ended up at Gardendale.
Well, I grew up around high school football, and my dad was an assistant coach and a junior varsity and junior high coach, you know, my whole life growing up. And I was around the high school program at Arab High School up north my entire life. And I just wanted to get involved in football. I had an opportunity to walk on at University of North Alabama as a walk-on athlete, and worked hard, was around some great coaches that I got to know there. Spent a year or two at the University of Alabama as a student assistant under Coach Franchione and Coach Shula. Went to Pittsburgh State University in Kansas and spent 2 years there as a graduate assistant. Coached on a great team that went to the national championship in 2004, and learned a lot about just how to run a program the right way. Just learned the foundations of football, really. You know, how to do things the right way, how to treat people, how to coach, and just about running a program. So that's really been my philosophy, you know, build a program, because I've been around some great programs. Went from Pittsburgh State to Carson Newman College in East Tennessee. Worked for Coach Ken Sparks, coached tight ends. He's one of the most genuine coaches I've ever been around who loves people. And I learned how to gauge the temperature of a team. You know, when I was there, I thought that was one of Coach Sparks' strengths, is he knew his team, knew what they needed to do each and every day, you know, to be ready to play their best. Back to Missouri, coached at Missouri Southern State University in Joplin, Missouri. Spent 4 years there as a wide receiver coach, offensive line coach, and recruiting coordinator. Had the opportunity to recruit Central Texas as a Division II coach. Met some great friends down there through some recruiting connections. Ended up coaching Texas high school football just north of Houston in a little town called Magnolia. Spent 3 years there as an offensive coordinator. And it was my goal and dream to get back to Alabama. And when the Gardendale job came open, I was a young, inexperienced coach and never had an opportunity to be a head coach, and Gardendale gave me an opportunity. And so obviously I've worked as hard as I can, and the good Lord's blessed us with some great kids, and my wife and I are very excited to be Gardendale Rockets.
Well, I tell you what, it sounds like to me, first of all, it's sort of been a long and winding road, but it's like you found maybe where you think your niche could be.
Right. And just, you know, you spend about 7-8 years at the college level. You know, it's Division II football. It wasn't, you know, SEC every day, but there's a lot of good football going on in Division II. But my heart was always back home, you know, and I wanted to find a program where we could work, have great kids, and build something really special. And yeah, my philosophy is not to build a team, it's to build a program. Because when you focus on building a team, you're kind of one and done mentality. And you know what we want to build at Gardendale is something that every year we want to build Gardendale into a playoff contender every year. Our goal is to be in the playoffs every year and to make some noise and compete for a state championship.
Well, I know you and I have talked quite a few times about Gardendale, and it's because of my relationship with you and my son and my grandson there. And Coach, talking about this team in particular, talk about it from the offensive side, defensive side, special teams side. What has been the difference in this year's team and last year's team?
I just think maturity, you know, and we've been able to create some depth as well. That's been the big thing. Last year we didn't have a lot of depth. You know, this year we got some guys that can play. We've been beat up at some times, had to rotate some guys around, and we've been able to create some depth, and that obviously starts in the offseason. Our kids have worked really hard. I'll tell you something else that are some factors. You know, every day we've got good scout teams that work hard, and I think our scout looks have done a great job preparing our ones, you know, to play, and we've got some kids that have really taken pride in that, and our coaches have really challenged our scout players to push our guys, and that helps us play. You know, I think we play in one of the toughest regions in the state of Alabama, and when you've got kids working hard to make your team better, that helps you big time, and you're not just out there with your ones every day. You know, you've got some twos and some backups pushing our guys to get better, and I think that's helped our program.
Well, I know two teams in particular. You talk about talented football teams, Clay Chalkman, Shays Valley, and playing that kind of caliber teams. I'm sure you're one of these coaches, you believe playing the best. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
That's right, that's right.
But one thing you and I talked about, this team in particular, and talk about what it means to you, because I know it's not only important to you but other coaches. But you said one of the biggest differences in this year's team is the fact that they compete every week.
That's right.
And there's a difference in having off weeks. I mean, as long as you're competing every week, you have a chance to win a football game.
That's right. And the biggest thing, you don't want to try to look at the scoreboard. You know, you want to try to go out there and break down every play. And you don't want to focus on your opponent so much. You want to focus on doing your job. And something we taught to our kids this year is dominate your job. Don't just do your job. Anybody can go show up at their job and get a paycheck, but let's dominate our job. Let's do it the best we can, and let's see what happens at the end. Because if we go out to dominate our job, I bet you that scoreboard is going to fall out in our favor.
Well, here's the thing, too, and I'm sure you know this a whole lot better than I, that all you want for any of your athletes is to give a little bit more than is expected out of you. Because if everybody does that, then you're going to be the best possible unit you can be, building up one another and challenging each other in a positive way, and it makes the whole team stronger.
It makes the whole team stronger, and that's something too, you know. I want our kids to develop a lot of great character, you know, through football. I feel like football is the greatest test of life, and you're going to get knocked down in life. There's going to be some tough days in life, and life ain't easy every day. And I tell our kids, if you only show up to work on the good days, you're only going to be 50% successful, because every day is not a good day.
Right.
And, you know, and 50% of the time, you know, there's some good days or some bad days or some good days or some bad days. And if you only show up to work on the good days, you're only going to be 50% successful.
Right.
So that's what I challenge our kids all the time. If they're having a rough day at school, let's come out and let's get after it. You know, let's turn it into a positive. So I think that's helped us this year, especially with some adversity that we faced with some tough competition.
Well, and the thing about that too, I've told people a lot of times through the years that so many more positive lessons are learned from losing. Mm-hmm. It's easy to be a winner,
yeah,
but picking yourself up and getting going on and improving, that's the key. Yeah. And one last thing, we only got about 30 seconds, but I'm going to ask you this quick question. And I've heard this said a lot, and you can probably say, yes, it is. Behind every good coach, there's a good woman. Tell me about your family.
My wife is fantastic. You know, she's a little down under the weather right now, but we're blessed with a beautiful 7-month-old daughter. And we've welcomed her to Gardendale, and the town of Gardendale's been fantastic. But my wife is probably the biggest supporter, the best assistant coach that I have. And she's a blessing. We met out in Texas, and I was fortunate enough that she wanted to come to Alabama with us, but she loves these kids, and that's what it's all about.
Well, Coach, good luck, and we hope your run in the playoffs is not near over, okay?
Thank you very much.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, 4 big reasons for Gardendale's success this year. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa. The amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course. Miles of historic trails. And the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Thomas Waters about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. Once again, before we get started with this part of our interview, I want to tell you real quickly, you can see our show on our website, cestvshow.com, or Facebook, and we'd love for you to do that. That way you can see us anytime you want to. 4 outstanding seniors off the Gardendale Rockets team that has gotten better as the year has progressed and gone along, become a playoff team, and believe me, that's what every head coach wants, is his team peaking at the right time. Closest to me, Justin Fillmore. Justin's a senior linebacker.
Yes, sir.
Austin Hicks, senior wide receiver. Juan Jackson, senior free safety linebacker. And Brady Owensby, a senior defensive end. Yes, okay, guys, as we get this started, so you've all seniors, been around the program a while, and Justin, we'll start with you. What has been the biggest difference this year between this year's team and last year's?
I have to say leadership and having the desire to work hard and do right. You know, when Coach first got here, you know, everybody didn't buy into the ideas and the philosophies that Coach had when coming along in this program, and I think the team has picked up on it pretty well, and I think everybody's bought in, and that's the big difference.
Okay, well, with those thoughts, Austin, let me ask you this. One of the most important aspects of a team is team chemistry. And the reason being, if you guys like one another or you guys make yourselves accountable to one another, it helps in unifying a team and making you not only stronger individuals, but stronger as a team. Talk about that aspect from this year's team.
Well, we're across the board on the offense. We're pretty young, but we find time to have chemistry. You know, we have to put in extra hours, you know, in the summer, throwing after practice or getting the right blocks and all that. But I feel like as a team, as an offense, we've really bought into the coaching, and we've really bought into seeing that, hey, we can have some success doing this, but we have to, you know, apply ourselves. We have to watch film. We have to have perfect, you know, perfect steps, perfect everything. And I think that's the difference, you know, with this offense. I think we've really bought into it as a whole.
Well, one, talking about that aspect of it, was there a certain time during the season, this season, where you got to thinking, wow, we could be pretty good? If there was a turning point, what would that turning point have been for you?
I think knowing the faith that I have in these guys, that right from the beginning we knew that we can play. I mean, we knew a lot of media wasn't give us the recognition that we thought we deserved, but I mean we all knew we could play.
Well, now Brady, you're a senior as well. Going into this year, new region opponents. Was there anybody there that you saw that you thought, man, I'm going to enjoy playing against this team?
I believed Clay Chalkville was a big team before the season started. I chose them as being my favorite team to play against.
Are you one of these guys that we were talking to the coach about it just a moment ago, that if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best?
Yes, sir.
And right now that Clay's proven they're going to be a worthy opponent for anybody every Friday night. But what a challenge it would be. And all you got to do is keep winning, and somewhere along the road, you know you'll meet them guys. And in the playoffs, and sometimes you can have different. You know, one of the toughest things in sports to do is to beat a team 2 times in one season.
Sure.
So there's all kind of advantages and disadvantages. You just have to look for that. Guys, one thing I always enjoy asking athletes, and got 4 of you here, and all of you are seniors. So, Justin, we'll start with you. Being a linebacker, I always like to ask an athlete if there's any collegiate or professional athlete that you would like to pattern your game after, or hear somebody say, gosh, he plays a lot like so-and-so. Who would that person be for you?
Ray Lewis. It has to be Ray Lewis. That's my favorite of all time, Ray Lewis. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be like Ray Lewis. So he's that guy.
Well, let me tell you what, when it comes to the linebacking position, I can't think of a much better model to. If you played just a little bit like him, you as coach don't have a smile on his face that Ajax could take off, you know. Austin, how about that from a wide receiver standpoint?
It'll have to be Amari Cooper. He really doesn't, you know, say much, but he really doesn't have to. You know, his on the field and off the field, you know, speaks for it all. And sometimes not being able to say anything or not say anything is a good thing. You know, staying out of trouble. But he's definitely an explosive player. Obviously, a game changer for Alabama. So I try to, you know, take, you know, his role and try to model my game after him.
Well, let me ask you this. Having said that, would you consider yourself, have you made yourself a steady influence on the field, or are you a home run hitter, big play guy? Or a little of both?
I'll try to be a little both. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, try to make plays. You know, whatever I have to do, hey, I try to do it. You know, whether it's a deep ball I have to go get, or, you know, simply a screen pass, or, you know, blocking, I try to be, you know, all of those in one.
Well, good. One, now here's your free safety, linebacker. Which position you like the most?
Probably free safety.
Free safety?
Yes,
that way you can go after those passes and not necessarily to knock somebody's head off from a linebacker spot or whatever, which is okay. But who Who is the collegiate or pro that you'd like to end up playing like?
I'd probably say Sean Taylor. That's one of my favorite players. And I know he returns kicks and stuff like that. That's something that I do. And he was a free safety, known for he can be a ball hawk, and at the same time he can come lay you out.
When it sounds like you are versatile, mobile, and sometimes hostile.
Yes,
okay. Brady, how about you? We're talking about a defensive end. There are a lot of fine defensive ends in college and pros. Who do you look up to?
J.J. Watt.
Really?
So he's an animal. Everything he does, full speed.
Well, I tell you what, if you're anything like J.J., people are going to hate to see you coming on the offensive side of the ball. And the coach is going to light up because you know what? From the defensive side of football, and I know that coaches and you've had coaches tell you this before, but as long as you hold another team scoreless or to a very low score, you got a chance to win every football game. You know that? That's how important defense is. Then offense, of course, you just got to come along and do your part. And the next thing you know, what have you got? You got a winner. That's exactly what you got. And that's what you guys, and I think the thing that the coach has said that impresses me the most is he says, y'all come and show up every week to compete. And as long as you do that, give it the best you have every time you show up, good things will happen. And this is a question that the guys up front have an advantage because y'all get to think about it a little bit more. But let's just say I have just met y'all, which I have for the first time, seen a lot of you because of my grandson, but just met you. And if there's something, do you have a hobby or is there something that you can do that people would be surprised if they knew it? Like, do you write poetry? Do you sing? Do you like fish? Just, if we didn't know, I didn't know that about you, what would you say? Snapper, I like what? And what would that be for you, Justin?
I might write a little poetry.
You're kidding.
Serious. I might write a little poetry.
Really?
I can't lie to you.
Well, it wouldn't be sweet nothings type poetry, would it?
No, it varies, you know.
But you know, that's strange, and here's the reason I say that. You're not the first athlete to say that, and I've had the biggest of the bulls and the smallest of the little guys say, yeah, they do that. That's just something they like to express themselves and through poetry. That's a surprise. I'll take that. That was a good one. Austin, how about you?
I like to read myself.
Read? You're a big reader?
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you ever read anything about government or anything?
No.
Okay, that surprised me. And tell me what you like to read about.
I like to read, just sports stuff, stuff like that.
Yeah. You see, when your playing days are over, let me ask you this while I've got you along that line. When your playing days are over, could you see yourself maybe getting into coaching or being a coach, or does that seem to appeal to you?
Oh, yes, sir, definitely. My dad's a coach.
So, oh, really?
I grew up around coaching, and I think coaches have the greatest impact, on high school athletes, and I would definitely want to, be in that position one day.
I totally agree with you. That's a good point. How about you, Juan?
I like to bake. I bake.
You like what?
Bake. Bake all types of cookies and cakes. And
Chef Boyardee? All right, well, let me ask you this. Are you better at baking sweets or do you meats or whatever?
It's baking sweets. It's sweets.
Really? I got a sweet tooth. Me and you'd get along fine. How about you?
I like to sing.
You do? Okay, what kind of sing?
Any type of music you can think of, country, rock, anything.
Rap?
Everything.
Gospel?
Everything.
You got the whole...
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm telling you, boy, now that would surprise me. But that's okay. Some of the best singers I know are probably pretty good athletes at that too. All right, guys, time gets away. Boy, it flies when you're having fun. Now, let me ask you this. If you could go to any college you wanted to, and I don't know, y'all all may have offers off the tree right now. Let's just say you could go to your favorite school, whatever that school is. Where would it be and what kind of subject would you be taking?
For me, it would be Georgia Tech. Now I major in engineering.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to build a bridge one day.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I tell you what, Georgia Tech would be a good place. How about you, Austin?
If I had to go to any school, it would probably be Alabama.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You've got success written all over you, buddy.
Yes, sir. I just like to be around winners, and
yeah.
The stats don't lie. Alabama is, they're a bunch of winners, and I probably would major in physical therapy and sports medicine.
Okay. How about you, Warren?
I'll probably go to school with my boy Austin and go right down to Alabama.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, two successful men. Okay.
I guess I'm going to have to be the third. I'd like to go to Alabama.
Bless your heart. Well, I tell you what, guys.
Oddball.
How y'all cannot be successful is beyond me. And I pray for my Auburn friends that maybe they could turn, but we say that kiddingly. One last question, guys. We've got a minute and very quickly. At this point in your life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
I'd say my father, because he teaches me how to work hard and be disciplined and do everything right.
Okay.
I have to say my grandmother. Her health hasn't been, well over the past couple of months. And seeing her, battle through it and not complain is really just giving me, it's humbling, humbling myself and makes me look myself in the mirror and, wanting to go out and be the best I can be.
Good. All right.
It's my grandmothers also. They both been through so much, and I know they always have a smile on their face. They're always going on to the next day.
Good to you.
My grandfather used to taught me how to be a man and just how to live my life the right way.
Well, guys, I tell you what, congratulations, whatever you decide to do after this year's over, because you're going in the real world, whether it be college or whatever. But till then, let's worry about these playoffs and come home a big winner, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Folks, we'll be right back and visiting with another coach and some more athletes. Don't you go away. Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The Drive Shop in Trussville not only personalizes cars, SUVs, and trucks, they can personalize your motorcycle or ATV as well. They also specialize in automotive accessories to fit your specification. They provide performance and fuel economy upgrades, lift kits, off-road accessories, custom lighting, bed liners, and much more. Once again, that's the Drive Shop, located just north of downtown Trussville on Highway 11. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The number to call, 533-8785, or visit us online at thedriveshop.com or like us on Facebook. Don't forget, you'll receive a 10% discount if you mention Snapper's name.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. In this segment, we're going to be visiting with a first-year coach from Parker High School, and what a first year it's been for the coach, because Parker's had the kind of season they hadn't had in a long, long time. And of course, we're talking about Coach Andre Robinson. Coach, good to see you.
Thanks, glad to be here.
And before we get started talking about your players, your team, for people that'll be seeing you for the first time, tell us about your background and how you ended up being the head coach there at Parker High.
Okay, I was at Parker from 1993 as assistant. In 1997, I took over as head coach, and I stayed there until 2004. And I went to Grambling in 2004 and was there until 2012.
Okay, so you're familiar with Parker, but
Yes.
it's way back in a few years ago
been
now.
a few years ago since I was at Parker.
And well, then you've had some pretty good years there too.
I did have some good years there before I went to Grambling.
Yeah, I thought you had because I know there was a little bit of where the pendulum goes up and down a little bit. But I know that Parker's had some lean years the last few years. But I think a lot of times, and you might be able to expand on this a little bit, it's sometimes not necessarily because the athletes aren't there. But what you and I both talked about, it takes a combination of good athletes and good coaching. And you put those together, good things happen sometimes.
That's true. It's definitely a testament to the young fellas and what we've done this year. They bought into what we were doing and did a wonderful job of, taking what we were given and making it happen. And also the coaches did a great job of giving the guys a great foundation to build on.
Well, now, if I'm not mistaken, 10-1?
10-1.
Thus far.
Right.
Talk about your team and from the offensive side, the defensive side, and the special teams. Just give us an overview of this year's team.
Well, that's the way we pretty much, talk about our team. Offensively, defensively, and special teams. With special teams taking the most emphasis because special teams help you win football games. But offensively, they've done a great job with my quarterback Tommy Neely leading them. And, we got great skilled players in Solomon Mohammed, Keshawn Wilder. We have some guys that have really done well, and we got some guys that have done a good job up front for us as well. So it's all come together offensively. Defensively, we're led by Lee Montgomery, our middle linebacker. He's done a great job, and Keontae Moore at cornerback, and Deontay Williams at safety. That is also a wide receiver. They've done a great job of helping us on defense. But like I said before, special team has been really good for us too.
Well, now I know one thing you got that has to really be good, and that has come along probably pretty quickly, is the relationship between you and your players, but also from a head coach's standpoint, probably one of the most important aspects of your job is your assistants and your staff. Talk about those just a second and how that's come together for you.
Well, I've been blessed to have some guys that, I've known for a while now. They're young men that I recruited to go to play at Grambling while I was there, and we formed a good relationship at Grambling while they were players. And once they came back home, back to Birmingham to live, and I knew they were here, so I asked them to come and help me coaching. And like I told you earlier, I was at Carver last year, and they came over to Carver with me, and Carver was experienced, trying to build a program over there. So when the opportunity came for us to go to Parker, they came along with me, and they've done a wonderful job of helping those young men to grow and become a good football team.
Well, do you feel like, and Coach, I don't to be presumptuous about anything, but do you think that this is probably going to be a situation and a job that you may want to hang on to for a while, especially because you're coming back to Parker?
Yes, I think this is a job. This probably my last job. I've been doing this a long time now, and I have some young guys that I think, once they're, continue to get experience and to grow in the coaching profession, going to be very good coaches, and hopefully when I'm done, they'll take over and keep the program going. We're trying to build a good program over there.
Well, I know you've had the experience, like you alluded to earlier, about coaching at Parker before. What do you think of the athletes in the city now as compared to what they were when you left? There are a lot more schools and a lot more athletes. The brand of football being played up here. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, the brand of football played in Birmingham right now is really good. I mean, the inner city has been down pretty much for the last couple of years, but you see a resurgence in the inner city schools. Rams is doing a great job, a really great job, and you see, Parker's done a good job. You see Jackson Olin getting better, Carver is getting better. Winona, pretty much been pretty good for the last couple of years, but the city as a whole is doing much better, and it's standing up with the schools in the county.
I was going to say another team that you might throw into there is Centerpoint as well. They've got a good program.
Centerpoint has a great program, and of course, the other schools around the county like McAdory, Mortimer Jordan is doing good. Pleasant Grove has been good for a while. So our schools in the city, stepping up to the plate now and trying to put a good product out there.
Well, I try to tell people, and I'm sure you do too, and will in the future, that the quality of football played here in the Birmingham-Jefferson area County area is as good as any in the state, and a lot of the states around us.
Really is the football in Jefferson County, with Birmingham being in Jefferson County, is really good. And if you can tell that by the number of teams we have in the playoffs right now.
Well, I know one thing, Coach, and boy, the time flies when you're having fun, but one thing I would like for you to allude to too is, have you been able, and you hope to in the future, maybe get a lot of athletes all out of the halls and into the football program, and hope to do even more of that in the coming years?
Yes, that's what me and my coaching staff have been talking about, all year, getting those guys in the school to come out for football. And with us having success this year, a lot of kids are, telling us they really want to come out this spring and be a part of the program, and we're happy about that.
Do you feel like the administration and the neighborhood there in Parker, it's like you're building something that everybody can become a part of, be proud of, and build on?
Well, we really do. The community has been very supportive, and I can't say enough about our principal, Mr. Darrell Hudson. He's been wonderful. He's done everything we've asked him to do and helped us in so many ways to have a great program. So it started with the administration, and our alumni is really good in supporting us as well.
Well, good. Well, I know, Coach, as you get ready for your game this coming Friday night, every high school coach, especially when you're in the playoffs, you're just hoping that the team is peaking at the right time and getting better each and every Friday night, right?
That's exactly right. And we hope that, we can build on what happened last week and play a very good offensive game along with special teams. And our defense has played well the last 2 weeks. So we hope they continue to play the way they played the last couple of weeks.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, as the old saying, it's good to see you come back to Birmingham, because when I saw that name, I said, I recognize that name from somewhere, but I couldn't remember the coaching back about 10 or 12 years ago.
Right.
But listen, you come back, got a good start here at Parker. Wishing you all the luck in the world, and hope this is where you'll be for a while.
Well, thank you, Snap. I plan on being here.
I hear you. And good luck this coming Friday night.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be visiting with some more coaches and a player from Parker. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Ted Townley in Homewood today.
And folks, welcome back. In this segment, we want to remind you once again how you can catch our show. We're on the internet, castvshow.com, or like us on Facebook. So the first chance you get, check us out. We hope you like us. We hope you like the athletes and the coaches that we have. And talking about that, we got a couple of assistant coaches here from the Parker Thunder and Herd staff, and Frank Warren, the offensive coordinator, Coach Warren, Kendall Robinson, defensive coordinator, and senior quarterback Tommy Neely. Welcome you guys. And Coach Warren, we'll start with you first. Tell us a little bit about your background and what's led you to your coaching position at Parker.
Well, I grew up in the Birmingham area around football. I went to Pleasant Road High School, and Coach Andre Robinson, he brought me to Grambling, recruited me, and he knew my family real well, so it was more of a, good connection with Grambling. And he's a good recruiter. He recruited a lot of kids from Birmingham area, and we had kept a relationship during college. And after college, he actually got released by the Cowboys, and he was the first person to give me a job when I came back to Birmingham.
Coach Robinson, how about you? Tell us about your background.
I was the same as Coach Warren. I went to Grambling State too. Also, I'm an alumni at Parker High School.
Really? Oh, okay.
So, yes, I carried on that branch from Parker to Grambling State. And after my 4 years at Grambling, I came back home, and just like Coach Frank, Coach Rob gave me a call. Been right along with him ever since. So,
well, Coach Warren, tell us a little bit about your offense, how it's progressed through the year, and does it surprise you that the team got this good this quick?
Well, we do like more of a spread. We got a type of Auburn offense we try to run, but since we got a good quarterback and throw, we still go downfield a lot. And we have a young group with a lot of guys didn't play last year. Parker lost 22 seniors when we came in, so people thought we weren't going to be that good. But we believed ever since we came in the spring that we can have a great offense, and the kids believe in our offensive system. And like people say, you got to have good coaches, but you really got to have good players. Players make you good, coach make them look good. So.
Right.
It was great. At the beginning of the year, you know, Tommy missed the first game with a sprained thumb, so we just relied on our quarterback, Solomon Muhammad, to play quarterback. We did a lot of Wildcat. But when Tommy came in, he did not miss a beat. He had a couple of 300-yard games. That's not, in high school, that's a lot of yards.
Right.
So, and some of the athletes we have can play with anybody in the state, I feel. And, you know, you say what your line, my line been growing. We made a lot of kids out of linemen that wasn't linemen, and they believed. And that's all it takes. When kids believe, it makes it easier for the coach.
Well, absolutely. One thing about it, and I've talked to other coaches about it, and y'all know this as well. You put the combination of good coaches and good athletes, you should get good results most of the time. With that thought in mind, Coach Robson, tell us about the defense, and does it surprise you the way y'all played this year?
Honestly, no, it doesn't surprise me. Just like piggyback up what Coach Warren said, we came in with a goal, and we were determined to reach that goal. And so I've been pressing and pushing my defense to be the best they can. I tell them every day, don't settle for mediocrity, be great. So this season, we've been pressing to that note. And we have a couple of games where we showed up at big times when we needed to. And like Coach Rob said earlier, we have been playing real good defense these past 2 weeks. So hopefully that continue up into the playoffs. So,
well, that sounds like that you've made a lot of strides and people are taking care of their business, especially on the defensive side. That gives us a chance to talk to the quarterback, the guy I call the leader of the team. And Tommy, you missed the first game, but that didn't seem to derail you any. All you wanted was to get healthy and get in there and get into playing, right?
Yes, sir.
Does it surprise you from a player standpoint how good your team has been this year?
No, sir, it doesn't, because our coaches, they push us each and every day to work hard, and we are determined to do what they have us to do.
When you have been there at Parker, I guess your whole career, right?
Yes, sir.
How was it as far as for you and your teammates adapting to the new staff?
At first, it was kind of hard because we were so used to our old coaches. Then the new coach that came in, we liked it now.
Yeah, they're all different. They all have their systems and terminologies and all. And you guys as players have to relearn again, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, being sounds like to me you're a dual threat quarterback, that you can hurt somebody not only with your arm but with your feet. Do you enjoy running more or dropping back or rolling out and finding that open receiver downfield?
I enjoy it all. It's really not a choice to me. I just enjoy having fun with my teammates.
When they're talking about that, you and your teammates, talk about the chemistry of y'all's team. It's got to be pretty good, because if you like one another and work hard together and the chemistry and the bonds are good ones, you can be the best you can be and bring out, maximize what you can and can't do. Talk about you and your teammates from a chemistry standpoint.
Every day after practice, we break down on family. And the word family means a lot. We come together as one. So as we break it down on family, we just know we stick together as a bond.
Well, I tell you what, you made a lot of good positive points there, and it sounds like that y'all are playing as one, pulling together for the same purpose, and that's to be the best you can be, win or lose. You know, sometimes, and Coach, I'll ask you this, Coach Warren, some of the biggest lessons we learn in life, you learn from losing. You know, I tell people all the time, it's easy to be a winner, because every one of those football games, when you line up on Friday night, you got a winner and a loser, but on Saturday morning, the view is completely different for that winner and that loser. But talk about the aspect of being able to gain more from a loss sometimes, because it makes you work harder, it makes you pull together more, it makes you dig a little deeper. Talk about that aspect.
Well, I think a loss will to show a real character of a person. You know, a team together, a team self-team bond. I just point the finger at a man. A real man will come together and say, we need to get better off this loss. You know what I'm saying? Not pointing the finger, not listening to anybody. It's your fault and not my fault. But come together. We had a loss this year that I think was a good loss for me because we got too comfortable. I think we got a little comfortable with some of the players and we tried to get to them. And the loss showed they came back and got refocused for the playoff. And I think you're right, it's a good character. It's easy to win. It's easy to correct stuff when you win, but when you get lost, you be in the film room, you don't want to come to film that day. But it shows you we get better. You got to get better out of every loss and everything you do.
I think you're absolutely right. Now, Coach Robinson, one of the things I want to ask you about is it sounded like, first of all, it's an adjustment period for coaches as well as athletes. How hard a job, and I know it's y'all's job along with the head coach's job, to put people in the right place. A lot of times you see athletes on a team, y'all get to them, this is not where they ought to be playing. You move people around. Talk about your job from that aspect and how much of it you had to do this year.
When we first got here, we had to really evaluate some kids to see what they can do and what they couldn't do. So we really had to build from scratch. So honestly, it was a real evaluation for me, which was on a pretty tough end to see what guys can do, how they can cover, how they can tackle, how they play in space, what coverage they can do, what if they can play man-to-man defense or whatnot. So also building faith in those kids to have faith in them to put in those certain positions. They really helped this year too.
Well, listen, I don't want to put either one of you coaches in a bad situation, but I'm going to ask you a question. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and we'll start with you, Frank. Do you have aspirations one day of being a head coach, or do you think you would be satisfied with being the best offensive coordinator you could be?
If anybody want to go higher in their profession, I want to be a head coach one day. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm really under Coach Rod, one of the best coaches in the state, I believe. He teaches me a lot every day about the X's and O's and about managing the team. It's a lot. A head coach wears a lot of hats.
You're right.
And offensive and defensive coordinator, our assistant coaches got to take a lot off the coaches. And I understand that some of the stuff he do. And he teaches us the right way to do it. And me personally, I want to be a head coach one day and be able to be the best one. Hopefully it comes. Probably about 3 or 4.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, it sounds like you got your head screwed on straight, for lack of a better way to put it, and you've got your goals and your aspirations, but you also, you know, that you've got a job to do right now, and that's your number one focus. How about you, Coach Robinson?
Yeah, also, I want to be a head coach one day too. Being able to be a leader to young men and really guide them and lead them in direction, not only on the field but off the field. When I was raised up, coming through high school, my parents were really big on me with education. Also, my head coach was too, so I gained some of those skills from that. And also, when I was at Grambling, Coach Robin still does, you know, make sure that you get your grades in the classroom and also be a player on the field at Grambling. So not only did he want us to be good at Grambling, he also wanted us to get our degree and finish college. So I took a lot of aspirations named from him from that, so I can take that to the next level when I get a head coaching opportunity.
Now, Tommy, being a senior, one of the questions I always like to ask, and you being a quarterback, I'm definitely curious about your answer. If you could be any college or pro quarterback and have somebody say about you, your game looks just like that guy's game, who would that guy be?
I would say Peyton Manning.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Buddy, I tell you what, if you got this much of Peyton Manning in you, you're going to be like this one day. That's good, because he's one that takes, I've never seen a quarterback take his book learning more serious and learning every aspect of his position. And it sounds like you're really sound at what you do at yours too. And Tommy, being a senior, the one question I always like to ask young athletes is, to this point in your life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
The most inspirational person to me has been my mom, because I come from a single household, and to me she has been my mother and father at the same time. So everything I do it for her.
Well, that's terrific and a wonderful thing to say. And I don't get a chance to ask this to many coaches like this, but I'm going to tonight. Frank, to this point in your life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons for you?
Well, besides God, it's been my dad. You know what I'm saying? raised seven kids, him and my mom together, you know what I'm saying? But I never seen him sweating in a bad situation. He always keep it calm and always keep a good pause on.
Good. How about you, Coach Robinson?
Besides my two parents, my oldest brother, he passed while I was a senior in high school, and he really raised me as a real, not only the brother figure, but the father figure who taught me and brought sports to me in my life. So my older brother be my inspiration.
Well, good. Well, listen, guys, good luck this coming Friday night. Keep it going. Win a state title. Bring it back to Parker, okay?
Yeah, I hope so.
Folks, we've had a great show, great coaches, great athletes. Same time, same place. Till next week, you know what Snapper always says, bicycle.